Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We ended the last class with a thought about Vishaya and Vishayi. So, the first type of thought that we undertake, we do, when we think of Vishaya and Drik, Drisya and Drik, something to be seen and the seer, is this. The first type of thought that comes to our mind is this. There is no Vishaya in me. Right? So there is no Vishaya in me. There is a Vishaya which is different from me. And I am not the Vishaya. This is the normal thought that comes to our mind when we take up this topic of Drishya Viveka. This is not correct. And how this is not correct, we should now think about. We should now learn. The truth is, my nature is not the absence of Vishaya. Instead, my nature is awareness of the presence of Vishaya and the absence of Vishaya. It's a big difference. Big difference between my seeing myself, my viewing myself as the absence of Vishaya. Vishaya means some object, some scene, some experience. So the first thought that comes is that the nature of the Drik is the absence of the Drishya, of the Vishaya. And this thought is not only not correct, it leads to uncertainty and does not lead to any definiteness. Doesn't lead to any definiteness. Because if you see there is an absence of Vishaya, so that thought is okay, the start is okay, but it doesn't land anywhere where you can say yes. Because if it's an absence of Vishaya, where is it? Well, that I don't know. All I know is there is an absence of Vishaya. So this kind of thinking leaves you hanging. And this kind of incomplete analysis is not what Vedanta is all about. Vedanta gives you some proof, something that you can see right away. And you should see that. And if you say, this is the absence of Vishaya, then yes, you've taken some kind of first step. But now you're in the middle hanging. So if it is the absence of Vishaya, then where am I? That's me, but what one? The right answer is I am the aware of presence of Vishaya and the absence of Vishaya. I am aware of, I am the person, I am an entity, I am that vastu. Now I can use the word vastu. Vastu can only be used for something which is, vastu should be, the word vastu refers to a dravya, something solid, something real. That's what the word vastu is. So for anything else, the word vastu is used in a secondary sense. A secondary sense. But it's not independent, it is dependent. So for example, you cannot use the word vastu for a golden necklace. Even though you use the word for a necklace, but really the vastu of a necklace is gold. So similarly, when we say a vastu, we use it kind of in a secondary sense, just like we say a necklace. But the fact of the matter is that I am a vastu. I am the real vastu. If I am the real vastu, then a line of thinking that I am not a Vishaya is not complete. It leaves you hanging. It's not complete. What is complete is that I am the Sakshi of both the Vishaya and the absence of Vishaya. That is a good definition. So if gold has some consciousness, see, look at it this way. So supposing gold, imagine that gold has some consciousness. So if the gold thinks that I am the absence of ornamentation, then that is not correct. It is partially correct, but not completely correct. The gold would say, I am aware of the fact whether there is ornamentation in me or not. That is a complete state. So similarly here also, this statement is a complete one. Why? Because, first of all, it is the truth. Secondly, in the truth in the sense, there is no secondly, it is the truth in the sense that that's who I am. I am awareful as a vastu, not as a quality. And I am always there. I am always there as a sakshi. If there are experiences in the waking state, that is like a vishaya. If it disappears, there is no vishaya in me. There is a dream vishaya. There is a waking vishaya. And there is no vishaya. In all these cases, I remain as I am, I know. Only thing is that in the case of deep sleep, you are in the form of awareness, but you don't know who you are. So therefore you don't enjoy the continuity of yourself. So you keep searching. But in all of these analyses, it should be seen in all thoughts, all analysis, it all finally resolves to the fact everything depends on the sakshi. Sakshi cannot go anywhere, it has never been born, it is not possible to die. And it is aware of the absence as well as the presence of any kind of drishya, any kind of vishaya. So vishaya means a drishya. So both the drishya, it is not the absence of drishya. Drik and drish, Drik and drish are not opposite to each other. They are in fact, in one case, a pure sakshi, and in the other case, endowed with some upadhis. That's it. This needs to be understood. This is the lesson of Vedanta. And so all lessons of Vedanta resolve in the fact that sakshi is self-evident, self-existing, and self-aware. And because of this, having no limits. If it was not self-existing, it would depend on some limits. But being self-existing and self-aware. Self-aware means what? Self-aware means my nature of I know. Sometimes the word param is used. Very beautiful word, very important word. Param, param, para. Parabrahma, Paramatma, Param. What does it mean? Param means something standing after everything else is gone. And after that, there is nothing else. Everything resolves into a Sakshi. And that Sakshi is you, my dear. Not any remote thing. It is you. And the only thing that if you don't get this, it is because so far the pull of ajnanam, of ignorance, is still holding you back. You will think, I know what you are saying, but. Swami Maheshananda had given this very interesting example. He says, all of them say the same thing. And really what we have to really work on is our doubts. That's it. We give this interesting example that one time somebody had refused, normally this is what happens. All the students of Vedanta will say, well, I understand what you're saying, but. And these are all these Puranic stories where teachers also have tempers, and they also get frustrated. So this teacher said, why don't you understand this? This is very clear. He said, sirs, I understand it, but. So he gave him a shrapa. So this guy I don't have any powers to give you shrapa. But this teacher had powers to give shrapa. So he gave him a shrapa. He says, may you go hang in that cave. So instantly he found himself hanging from his feet up, all the way down. And there were thousands of other people hanging from the ceiling the same way. So they said, who are you? What happened? Where am I? He says, welcome to the land of doubters. Every one of them frustrated their teacher by saying, I know what you're saying, but. He says, the but that you have to really work on. Otherwise you end up hanging in a cave. Hanging in a cave means literally you hang in a cave because you have to take another birth. It is not an easy process. So, this is the thing that we have to see. That there's nothing more that you need. I am. This is the ultimate. So this is one thing. Now let's go to, where are we in a second? So we have 2 or 3 more classes.
3.
Okay, so I think what we could do is go into how to remove this but. So the doubt this is the subject of Vairagya. And I think we can go back to some of the things we talked about earlier also, and then go a bit more details about it. And this is where the improvement of the mind, sadhana chatushtaya, all of this will come in. So let's go into that for a little while. And after that, there is one major topic which I will take up a little bit later on, maybe even in this class, but I think this will probably take us to the end of the class. So, this eligibility and the word Vairagya and removing of doubts are all in the same. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so you should see this. So again, I think the advice by Swami Kundananda that please see the beginning of Vairagya, how it is leading to the right direction. How the Viveka, the self-test of the Viveka, as we talked about, in the form of Vairagya, is the step in the right direction. Because as you see the effectiveness of Vairagya, it improves your ability to understand. See, because that's exactly what is happening. We all, if I quiz you, will say, did you understand what I was saying? You will say, yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. I may have a couple of doubts here and there, I'll talk to you later, but pretty much whatever you've been saying, really? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I think I do. Do you understand that the Atma is not affected by any of you? You understand that your problems really don't affect you? Yes, I think I do, but I know what you're saying, but this looks so real to me. I don't know what to do. Here's the thing. It is because the hold of the world is so strong on me so far that the voices of reason and the voices of wisdom are pretty weak. I don't think it was Swami Dayanji or somebody just said, look upon this as the proverbial scale that we have in India, 2 arms. You go to some shopkeeper and say, I want 2 pounds of dal or something. So you know what he does? He puts 2 pounds, 2 सेर उसमें डाल देता है एक तरफ और इसमें दाल डालना शुरू करता है और अभी तक दाल पूरी तरह से हुई नहीं होती तो ये तो नीचे होता है और ये ऊपर होता है और उसके बाद अगर दाल डालते जाओ आस्ते 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 तो जो तराजू है वो ऐसे ऐसे हो जाता है and he is very sensitive. अगर एकदम से ज़्यादा हो गया तो कम कर देता है उसको because you don't want the dal to be too much, so on. So this is exactly in English what I was just saying was to the people that in India we have this scale that has these 2 hanging baskets and somebody says I want 2 pounds of this lentil and so what this guy does he says 2 pounds? He says 2 pounds. So he takes 1 pound iron little piece, 2 pounds iron piece, and this is one thing. And he hasn't put any lentil on the other side yet from his storage. So this is now hanging like this. Then he starts to put the lentil on the other side. And until it gets to be about the same level. And then he says, okay, now you can have it. This is our situation. On one side, we have samsara, which is our firm ideas of this is who I am, this is the way it is, I'm a small person, I'm struggling, I'm working on it, just leave me alone, okay? I'm trying to make progress in my life, I'm learning new things, I am eating better, I'm losing weight, and I'm doing all these dieting and Ayurvedic doctors and all of this, so I'm working on it, wait, just leave me alone. And so along comes Vedanta and says, I want to sell you something, I want to buy something, but put this idea in your mind. So you say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but right now I'm the heavy one here. Slowly, 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 there comes a point where the thoughts, the ideas, the concepts, the applicability, the experience based on what Shruti is saying will get so heavy that samsara will disappear. But that has to happen. So in the meantime, there is this, you have to really put some more things in. Or the other thing you can do is to remove the weights from here. See, that's another way to look at it. Is to, there's already something here, I'm not going crazy with this, so don't go too much into it, but you can remove some of the other side as well. But ultimately there needs to be a balance. So, both Vairagya and Viveka are necessary. So how best to do that? I'm trying to see what I have not already covered, because the way this is, I'm doing it, I've already covered a lot of that. So one important thing to see, one important thing to understand is your goal of where you want to be in life is already done. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to accomplish. We'll be talking about this, but in terms of this present understanding of sadhana, etc. You are a done deal. There's nothing more that needs to be created. Something needs to be given up, that's all. Nothing needs to be created. So this is where Vairagya takes on a new light, really speaking. Because you can look at it different ways, but in one way to look at it is that the reason we are shy of giving up something is because we are afraid that we will be poorer by that amount. And I'm uncertain as to what will happen to me if I give up a lot. There may be nothing left for me. Then what am I going to do? You know, we hear stories, not only stories, we actually see this. We are at an age where a lot of our friends are having very serious medical problems. Some of them recently died. Indra Prakash, and then Usha Bilani, and we talk to them, even others, a lot of other friends who are in very bad shape, how expensive it really is. My goodness, this, round-the-clock care and all of this is just so expensive. So it is very normal sometimes, couples talk to each other and say, do we have enough if something like this happens? And there is some doubts because you feel, maybe I think we have enough money, but maybe we don't. You have no idea what can happen. Then you get all these horror stories about how much it costs in this country to take care of it. You can always go to India, but that has other problems. Your children, your family is here. I can't go there because of my health issues. And so we have to be here, and this is very expensive. So this idea about not being open to giving up certainly is very real. But here, this is a very interesting situation. If somebody would tell you, you have infinite wealth, you have infinite wealth, will you unlimited, forget about the word, it's the same thing, but unlimited means that you will never ever run out. Now can you give? You will not give, you know why? Because you're not sure that I have infinite wealth. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. I don't have. Well, how do I know that I have infinite wealth? Just by you saying doesn't mean anything. You prove it to me. Nobody can prove it to you except yourself. The Shastra says you have it. You have it. And the more you try, and in fact, try giving more and more things, and you will see how happy you feel. You don't have to you don't give out $1 million, but at least start with $10. My wife is a very interesting person. She doesn't spend any money on herself. But when it comes to giving it to as tips to waiters and to servers and so on, she's unreasonable. I'm telling you, sometimes we go out to, we had a very famous, very interesting place from the local Indian dhaba. And we used to really enjoy going there. And it was not that expensive. Yeah. It would be like $35, $40 or something for two people. You go and have dosa, etc. She'd give them a $20 bill, 50% of it. So we said, Pami, what? Everybody will say you're spoiling them because they will expect it from everybody else. He says, no. $20 to them more than that she would sometimes, he still does, that they will feel, to them $20 is a lot. Let them be happy. The great giver just gives her a lot of satisfaction. So try giving a little bit out and see what happens to you, then do more. But really from a Vedantic standpoint, it says, if you are told you have an amazing storehouse of Ananda, and the only reason it is not being enjoyed by you is because you have a sense that I don't have enough. I need to conserve it. I don't know if it is there. I don't believe that I have Ananda in me. I'm not sure about it. I just have to go on with something that I trust a little bit. It's the same thing that about Swami Vivekananda's beautiful example, really. That this sage that used to come and listen to him, he said, I keep telling you, you are Ananda, you are Atma, you are Paramatma, you are Brahman, again and again. And this one time, this guy said, you think you stole my slippers? He just broke down. He came to Swamiji. Swamiji said, okay, I understand it, but let me ask you something. Why didn't you believe me when I tell you you are a great person? And if somebody else says you are a chore, you just believe it? So a lot of that has to have Shraddha in the but do take the first step towards it. So this is where the neti Adesha in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is so important. So it says, neti means remove the negativity, remove Vishayas from it, remove it, not this one. Should I go after that? No. What about this? No. Go after nothing. But don't I need to go after something? No. Why is it that I don't have to go after anything? Because you're already complete and you don't understand it, that's all. You're already there. This fact is displayed so well that such an important part in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So in the 13th chapter, this is on page 209.
Verse number?
Very beginning, first one. So Arjuna says, Arjuna Uvacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrayameva Cha Etat Veditum Ichchami Jnanam Geyam Cha Keshava. It's very interesting. It's kind of like somebody going to a Ramayana play and coming out and says, by the way, who is Rama? So Krishna must be saying, oh my God, why do I spending so much time with you? So he's saying, what is jnana? What is knowledge? What is to be known? And then some other thing, prakriti, purusha, chaiva, etc., etc. What is knowledge? And this is, by the way, very much discussed what I was telling you. This is all the commentators have done this. So if you really look at this, he does not specifically say what is jnana. Instead, he gives perhaps one of the most important sections of the Bhagavad Gita, starting with verse number 7. He answers that. There's some other things that he does before that, you can read it. This is a very important section. And in fact, as you know, these 20 qualities of what is Vidya, this is Jnana, is presented in Swami Dayanandaji's book called The Value of Values. And he must have taught this to me so many times, and I have taught this so many times. So this one is just amazing. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa shantirajyavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyamatma vinigraha indriyarteshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam asaktirana vishvangaha puttradana vihadishu nityam jasanchittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu maicha yogena bhaktiravya vicharini viviktadesha sevitvam arathirjana samsadi adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam etad jnanamiti proktam ajnanam yadatonyatha. So the essence of these is amanitvam. Let's just take amanitvam, adambitvam. Amanitvam means the absence of manitvam. And what is manitvam? So mani is one that has mana, is mani. So mana means a feeling that I'm somebody important and I'm doing well. I don't need any advice from anybody. I'm okay. And in fact, I'm pretty good. I'm happy. So it's not, it's not a special ego. Not as though I'm the greatest ever, but just don't disturb me. I'm okay. Alright? I don't need any advice or anything. I don't need to go to any classes, nothing like that. This is the sense of manitva, where you don't feel the need for any help. You're not open to anyone telling you what to do, because you feel, who's he to tell me? I don't know what he's got to do. I think I know what to do. So in that kind of a sense. So what happens is there that you have, you are fixed onto your jivatva. You're not willing to go beyond it. Not willing means you don't think there's anything like other than what I'm doing. And so there's no need, and if you do that, then I remember some Dayanand used to say that, he said, this is a very interesting thing. He said, people do not understand the value of giving up limitedness because they don't know what they're missing by being much more limitless than they are now. Much more. But you're afraid. What if it is not there? I'm not sure. This is where the clarity of the teaching has to be done. So Amanitvam is only one of them, and there are so many other qualities. Adambitvam. So the difference between Amanitvam. So an Amanitvam is maybe you exaggerate a little bit. I'm doing okay. Adambitvam is that you are actually lying. You are not only exaggerating, you are here's the absence of pretension. Yeah, it's a good translation. Absence of conceit, which is an exaggeration. And absence of pretension. Very good word. Pretension means that you imagine that you have all the qualities that you are saying you do, but you really don't. In the first one, Amanitvam, you do have those qualities, but you're maybe exaggerating the importance of those qualities. Adambitvam, you are completely lying. And then there's Ahimsa, Kshanti, a feeling of I can't stand this. This is not my cup of tea. I don't like this. So lack of accommodation. Arjavam. Arjavam means, I won't go through all of them, I'll just give you some, I'll just go to the end of this and so on. Arjavam means what's the English word? The consistency.
Or straightforwardness.
Straightforwardness is given here, but I like consistency better, because if you say something but you do something else, it's inconsistent. Straightforward, you can also look at that, but I don't think that's the right translation. Straightforwardness is not. Straightforwardness would mean transparency, perhaps. You're straightforward, you tell exactly. So that has some aspects of that. But consistency is a better word. So there are things that you can say, things that you can do, and things that you can think. These are the three things. So all three of them must be consistent. And the lack of those contribute to the amanitvam and adambitvam. You just say, okay, don't bother me. I know what I am. Okay. Are you very helpful? Yes, I'm helpful. Don't tell me about that. Okay. Are you being helpful? I'm better than you. And you are not helpful at all. So this is all these kinds of things. So here now we can conclude all this is that Sri Krishna does not directly answer what is jnana. And do you know why that is the case? He doesn't have to say with the finger and say, this is jnana, this is knowledge. You cannot even say, this is me. You cannot point a finger. Because if you point a finger to yourself, that's not who you are. That is only part of who you are. You are only in the waking state. So you can't point a finger. But the funny thing is, so, and you say, okay, I'm trying to find myself. Am I this? So this is what Neti does. Neti means no Sthula Sharira, no Sukshma Sharira, no Karana Sharira, no Sharira. Not this, not this, not this, not this. Then who am I? If you eliminate everything, eliminate all specifics, all particular things and so on, you are the supporter of all of them. You are already there, looking for yourself outside in your dealings, in your vyavahara, and so on. But you are the person based on which all vyavaharas are. And the way to see that is you just remove the power and influence of other things on you and rely on, you can say this, on the Ishvara as your core. Brahma is your core. Satyam Jnanam Anantam. And it's easily seen. It's not some kind of a future or anything. You are. Please see, you are. Independent of anything. There's no control of time even in your beingness. And you are aware, self-aware. No, this is this is a major topic we're going to come to next. So I would withhold some of the details of this, of the seingness. But I think we've already started to see it, that you see, you are aware, you know as your Swarupa. So you already are what you want to be. It's just that you don't know you are Ananta. You don't know you are Ananda. And so therefore there is a doubt that just being and just seeing is not doing something for me. It will, if you begin to understand that this beingness and this seingness is amazing because it will never go. There is no end to it. You think there is an end to it. It is subject. That means you don't quite understand. You don't understand this Swata-siddhatvam, Swayambhu. So this is a very interesting thing to really get out of this course, if you can, is that all the things that apply to Ishvara also apply to you. We always look at the word Swayambhu as something who is Ishvara or something like that. You are Swayambhu. Swayam bhavati iti Swayambhu. Swata Siddha, you are always there. And the only reason you doubt is because you are looking at it from the standpoint of the body-mind complex. Don't. Just look at yourself as you are. You are already Swayambhu. So I would say, and this is what I was trying to do in meditation, and I will continue to do that, is that the basic, you can't even call it gunas, the very swarupa of Ishvara. Because you have to understand that the entire cosmos rests in someone, is the subject of someone, one who is beyond all of that. And that is Ishvara. So we'll go into all of that. But all those, that Swarupa that you ascribe to Ishvara also is ascribed to you. And the only reason you don't agree with that is because you only are looking at yourself from the standpoint of the body-mind complex. That's it. You take the drishti away from it, you have exactly the same possibilities as Ishvara. So this is, for example, I just somehow got to the word Swayambhu. So the question is, you go around, ask somebody, even in fact particularly supposing somebody is familiar with the word Swayambhu, you do a survey and say, who is Swayambhu? What does some, in fact it will be interesting, we can do that, just Google it and say, what is Swayambhu? You know what they will probably say? This is some Ishvara. She's doing it, okay, let's see what Google's ChatGPT says.
I'm just googling it, let's see. Space means self-formed, self-manifested, self-existing.
I didn't know that they will be so wise.
It refers to the concept of something that arises or exists independently without external creation. In a religious context, you can describe deities, entities, or even natural images that are believed to have emerged naturally rather than being crafted by humans.
Interesting.
I'll see what ChatGPT says.
So it's so the first part is okay, one which is the concept of being by itself, and then it says something about deities that are.
It's interesting, then it goes through the etymology. It says Sanskrit term Swayambhu is composed of Swayam, self, and Bhu, born.
True. Yeah. Actually, that is also wrong. All of these things are, this little knowledge is dangerous. So, just to look at this one thing, it says that it consists of two words. Swayam means itself, and Bhu means born. Okay? Bhu is not born. Bhu stands for Bhavati. One exists, not which is born. And
it is not born, that is the whole concept, that it is
it is not born. It is not born, it is already there. Bhavati.
It says it exists without external causes.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so
later on it does say, believed to have been self-manifested, not made.
okay, good. But I think that generally speaking, leave aside, ChatGPT. You ask a common person who wants Swayambhu, they'll say, oh, that's Ishvara. It is you. You are Swayambhu. Ishvara, of course, is the same thing. Anything which is self-existing, and there's only one thing which is self-existing, is the Atma. Parama, you can call it Paramatma, you can call it Jivatma, you can call it Brahman. And we give the name Ishvara and Jiva, etc., but it is Swayambhu, Swayam Bhagavad. So anyway, the purpose of, and there's a little bit more to talk about this in terms of sadhana. We'll do that right in the evening class. But the implication of these verses number 7 through 11, 8 to 11, 8 to 12, I don't know.
7 to
7 to 11.
I don't know why this there's a mistake made here, because I copied it from something just to paste in my notes.
Chapter 13 is unique because that first verse is not in most of the versions of Gita that are out there published. So even in this one, it's marked as like verse 0. It doesn't have a number.
Interesting.
Whether it's 24 verses.
Why am I teaching you guys? You should be sitting here. I think I remember that, but I've forgotten it.
Yeah, so Arjun's questions, many people believe it was added there because Arjun did not ask any question and Krishna just started this whole Upadesha and Jnana.
I
so
see.
then somebody inserted that question later that this is what is being addressed in this chapter.
Good. So that explains it. Anyway, so this group of very important Upadesha from Sri Krishna is because you don't need to talk about in a positive way because you already are there. If you just remove the impurities from it, the cloud, and so on and so forth, it is Swayambhu. It's a very, very important and very beautiful set of things. So what we will do in the next class is to complete this process of removing doubts and impurities from us through sadhana, and then go into a couple of very important things that I want to point out. Probably the most important one in this whole thing. We'll do that either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. Okay. Om Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyote Kamaya Mrityo Ma Amritam Kamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamitam Purnat Purnamudachyate